Good Yule. We're going to show you how to make Æbelskivers. You guys, tell me about this recipe. Is that our recipe for Æbelskivers?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do we need?
Two large eggs and separated.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then what?
2 cups of flour.
Good. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. Luke, do you see this? I've mixed it up. So this is our 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder and some spices. We put cinnamon in because we like cinnamon. Do you want to smell it? Smells good, doesn't it? Delicious. So into that, we're going to pour 2 cups of buttermilk. You want to do that, Luke? Great job. Jody, you want to put the butter in? And the butter is melted and cooled down a little bit, isn't it? And then can I just take my spatula? Do you know where Æbelskivers come from? What country? We were talking about this earlier today. Do you remember? It starts with a D and it's called, you want to do that one, Joe? Or Luke?
Durban.
Denmark, right? And your great-great-grandpa came from Denmark, didn't he?
Yes.
Now, Luke, do you want to just stir a little bit? So the batter is going to be a little lumpy. And it sure looks lumpy, doesn't it? Can I help a little bit? You're a good stirrer. I'm going to get some of the stuff in the bottom here. We're going to stir like that so it gets nice and mixed together, right?
Yeah.
Do you see any loose flour or do you think we got it?
We got it.
Got it. Just a couple more times, just to, like that. And then we gotta slip those egg whites in. And then the egg whites don't get, there's the egg whites. The egg whites don't get stirred. You do something with them called folding. That's a different thing to do. They'll just slip right out of the bowl, Luke. Maybe. Can I help you? Here we go. Look at that. Thank you, sir.
No, you didn't get all of it out.
Okay, let me help.
There's the side.
So where are you guys from?
Texas.
Texas. You came all the way to Minnesota to make this movie? Wow. That's pretty cool. And so this is kind of folding, just kind of putting the lumpy batter on top of the other stuff. Sort of almost looks like stirring, but I think that's folding. What kind of stuff should we put in our first ones? Because we got Nutella.
Then we should do some better good.
While you guys are figuring this out, I'm going to show. Here's our Æbelskiver pan, and the pan is cast iron. I wasn't sure if it would work on my cast iron stove, but it has worked. So I think it probably goes a little better on a gas stove. So we put just a little bit of butter in each of the little rounds so that it, I think partially so it tastes yummy, right? But partially so the stuff doesn't stick. And then that's gonna get melted. Luke, would you grab me a paper towel? You wanna zoom in on that a little bit so that you can see how that's going. And I'm gonna grab our scoop out of here, Luke. All right, how's it going? So I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna just get the sides coated a little bit. You don't want too hot a temperature for this, so I've kind of got it on a medium. But but we'll wait till it gets a little bit more bubbly and all the butter's melted. And then, Joe, do you wanna scoop some in? Because you just scoop one like that. As soon as, just wait a minute or so. You could try it. So there's one. And are we putting Nutella in this, Lukey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to put the Nutella.
That might be, we gotta get Joe to fill them up first. So it's gonna be hot over here, isn't it? I think there's some pans that aren't cast as heavy cast iron. These are old pans. They're probably, oh gosh, probably 40 years old.
4,000 maybe.
Or 4,000. Could be back before Christ. Right? Old Æbelskivers pans. Joe is doing a great job. Now the Danes, the Danish people, when they would make these, they would use a knitting needle to turn them around, but I don't knit any much. I've tried to crochet, and I don't think that needle would work. Whoop, we want a little more in that one. What do you think? Or not? Probably perfect. Okay, so I don't know. What do you think, Luke? Is this gonna be, because the problem here is we gotta kind of push it off into the middle there. And there might be some food safety things here if I get Æbelskivers in with my Nutella, so might be nice to put a little Nutella in a bowl, but we are figuring this out. So this is Æbelskivers with Nutella. Now, do you see how it's kind of starting to cook? Just kind of watch it a little bit. And I'm going to use, which one did you put in first, Joe?
I think I put in that one first.
That one first. So we'll see if it's not quite ready. Not, let's see, it's gonna pretty soon ready. So I have learned that the first batch doesn't always work the best, but we'll give it a shot. Then what you do with these is you just turn them a quarter of a turn in the pan when they're ready. That one looks like that one's ready to go. Those are happy people in the background because they know they're going to get Æbelskivers later. You can hear them laughing. What are some of the other things you could put in Æbelskivers? Do you remember, Joe?
Dog treats, apple,
Jam?
bananas,
Maybe. You could probably try anything.
strawberries, even glass.
No, I wouldn't. Got some great ideas though, Luke. So how old are you guys?
9.
9
and
and 6. And you made the poster. That's so great. With the recipe. It's taken a little while.
Mm-hmm.
We should have timed it so we could tell people how long it took, but they could tell by the video how long it took. And our pan was just heating up. Once the first batch is done, the cast iron stays hot. And it'll cook a little faster. I think a traditional method of or inside of Æbelskivers is apples, and then they might serve it with maple syrup. So you want it so that all the batter gets done. You can see some of that's kind of warming up. I used a little a paper towel just to get the residue from the Nutella off the pan so that we could make another batch of Æbelskivers with a different filling. And the there we go. Anyway, the Nutellas get kind of messy. That might be a good one to end with instead of start with, but we had helpers who are ready for Nutella, so see how much easier this one goes. And there we go. So just give them a little turn. I imagine a gas grill would work really great for these, but I am making it work on my flat top stove. So once you get your iron hot, it comes together pretty fast. And I'm not a professional Æbelskiver maker by a long shot. I think Lee Griffin has made a lot of Æbelskivers, and he might be a good reference for somebody if they wanted to really practice the art of Æbelskivers. But these taste pretty good. And it's really kind of, I suppose because it is pretty hot, that inside of that ball of dough gets all cooked up. And even the apples get a little soft. I think my favorite are the apple and some with a little jam. But the kids like the Nutella. Oh, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Think those are done?
That one is.
It looks pretty done. I'll bring it over here. And that part of my burner is not as hot, so that one's done.
Okay, what are you putting on these new Æbelskivers?
Dog treat.
Dog treats.
Oh no!
Just make sure you keep track of which ones they are.
We hope you have a Merry Christmas. Bye.